What is up, guys? Trendish from Bricks here. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you've been showing your Legos a little love. Today, I have this awesome Mining Guild MOC for you, based on and inspired by Star Wars Rebels stuff from the show. It's big and detailed and very large again. And yeah, it's just going to be really fun. Has some custom minifigs. And let's jump right in. This Mining Guild facility / platform would be hovering over a gas giant planet, so it could process and collect different materials from the atmosphere to be used by the Empire to build weapons and ships and stuff like that. This MOC was inspired by Requiem Station from Star Wars Rebels Season 3. Has a lot of similarities to it, kind of like how they were doing scrapping, except this is more like for fueling and cargo, so let's get into it. Starting at the very end here, we have this sensor, and then these giant grate pieces I used. So this part of the, I guess you could say, pathway or bridge is see-through. Even though this is the only part that's see-through, the whole thing would be floating over a planet, or hovering. And you see it has little lights, and here's a better look at the, like the sensor. It's a really cool design. It actually kind of modeled after one on Mustafar from Revenge of the Sith. I don't know, it could be anything like a weather sensor, or maybe searching for materials, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It has a little control panel, and you can see that there's just, little details all over this thing. There's lights all over it. You got like a person walking down here maybe to look at it or maintenance with it and control it. And yeah, if we come down here, you can start to see some of the details. I'll show the rest of them later, but you can just see kind of some of them with this bad camera angle. And yeah. Next up, all this heavy mechanical stuff protruding off the side of the main platform here, the kind of T-section there. You can see that it's a fuel clamp thing that would clamp onto like starfighters or small ships, and then it would use the hose / pipe to refuel the ship. And yeah, I don't know exactly what could work with this, maybe ties or something. And then you can see there's like a little bit of railing, and you can see the details under there, like little pipes and things. You have a little control console here, and a, what do you call it, like a wheel to, turn on the gas, I guess, or the fuel, and it's got little rails. And then if we go, you can see this pipe that runs along the side of side of the platform. It kind of goes into it, that's where the fuel would be coming from. You use some cool pieces for that, like that bendy hose. It's kind of hard to connect it, but it worked, and yeah, I really like the look of that. If you come down here, you can see some more details. It look like pipes or maybe like nozzles you could turn. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff over here. Here's a look from the other side at the controls for the fueling station. Next, coming down this sort of walkway here, these railings and some like control details on there. We get to this worker who's welding on this crane module here. You can see it's really detailed, and it's not like a closed cab, it's open, but you got like all sorts of little details all over this. We'll get a little closer look in a second. And yeah, here you can see that there's like suggestion of motors and things. You can swivel this around 360, of course, and yeah, you'd be used to pick up a whole bunch of stuff. There's a little control panel right here, and we can see someone sitting in that in just a second. And then if we look over here, you got like the back of the seat, some more railing to help you get up, and around it there's like caution tape and lights, of course, like everywhere else that would be. And the boom or the arm here, it has like little suggestions of tiny hydraulics. I don't know why they'd be that tiny, but they are. There's more arm detailing, like greebling on it. And then this really cool looking claw on the end, two-sided, for picking up crates or like barrels of fuel or something. So yeah, that swivels around, of course, and it has more suggestion of mechanical stuff on it. I just really like that. You can go over to the platform, and you could place cargo on the platform. It's kind of a weird place for a crane, but it works, and I wanted to really add this. So yeah, that's that detail. And yeah, just coming back down, you can see a little more on it, just in, full. This right here might be an exhaust, I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And down here you have more detailing, suggesting of like cooling and mechanical stuff that would have to do with the crane power or something. Yeah, just a whole bunch of greebling, basically, just interesting parts. This is probably one of the funnest things, but hardest, was all the greebling. Now we're continuing on past the crane here to this really long walkway here with more lights on it. That leads us to kind of the main platform, although it wouldn't be the main platform on the entire facility, just like one of the bigger modules, I guess you could say. The main platform would be beyond this. It'd be like a big dome or something. But anyway, it has a lot of detail, and it's pretty big. So I'm going to rotate it around and get us some closer looks. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. As you can see, it's raised up by one plate, so it's just a little taller than the rest of the bridge kind of area. And there's like a droid and some cargo over here, and there's just a ton of cargo and crates, drums, and stuff like that over here, tools and things, mechanical stuff, just all across it, because it's a really good way to add detail for Star Wars MOCs, is just adding crates and stuff. And yeah, you can see that there's like little railings on the side, and up here you have a like an elevated platform for overseeing the people. There's a guy up here who's like the foreman. You got like all sorts of details we'll get closer looks at. So yeah, that's just kind of overview of all the stuff over here. We can move in closer now. Over here we have more like storage details underneath these stairs here. It's like crates and boxes, and they're like kind of look like generators too, and tools. Have a custom gonk droid here. Have a hose and another little can with something in it. And yeah, it's just some cool stuff. There's a little light underneath the stairs, as you can see. And there's some really nice detailing on the walls using more crate pieces. Taking you down to some different views so you can see some of the side detailing. Just lots of textures and just interesting shaped pieces to make it look like pipes and mechanical stuff. Moving up these stairs, we start to get up to the elevated platform for viewing the workers. The foreman up here, and there's like vents and all sorts of just mechanical things. There's this light post here. Panning around the back, we can now see that it's pretty flat and not very much detail back here, because it didn't really need to put anything. It's just the back wall, and the inside of this building is hollow, so there's no interior. There's more detailing down below the platform, of course, and on top you have more cargo, crates, computers, sensors, drums, just everything. And yeah, just making it look cluttered. Like there's a lot of people working here. You got this guy doing some kind of maintenance, I guess. And we start to go up in a second, and we see the side railings with little computers on them, just different control pads for stuff, and sensors and vents. Back around to the front, we can see what all the figures are doing now, all their little scenes and what they're doing on the platform itself. And now we're about to turn this thing over so we can see the bottom texture and greebling. Okay, now we have this thing turned over so you can see all the bottom details. Sorry about the camera angle, I'm having to film this with one hand. But anyway, I don't really have to explain, it's just kind of fun to look at it. There's wires, pipes, sensors, and grates, and different things. There's even some areas that have like green or weathering on them. Just so many small pieces, interesting things you'll see in there, like guns and hoses, and maybe some other stuff like droid arms. This side's pretty flat, the see-through part, because I didn't need to be too much bulk over here. And that's basically the bottom. Onto the minifigures, the 4 worker figures here, if you can call them that. To the mining guild, they're kind of like slaves or forced workers. We have a Rodian, a Mirian, and 2 humans here. And yeah, they all have a common color scheme of dark blue and somewhat yellow. I used some pretty nice, interesting torsos and pants for these guys, or all of these people. Yeah, you got like these mining outfits from the mining theme that was pretty short, the newest one. And these two have like, some yellow on them because the mining guild has like yellow-blue mixture. It's not perfect to the show, but it works. And I think they look pretty cool, and there's some nice variety. So yeah, some of them have hard hats. Moving on to the Overseers, we have a Trandoshan and a Morse Serene. And yeah, they're pretty cool species, and I like these head molds, and I added, like, of course, the same color scheme, kinda. Just changed it up a little bit. Yeah, pretty cool figs. Like I said, I love the heads, and they're really cool looking, I think. Trandoshan, he has a gun there, because he, to keep the workers in line, like I said earlier. They're not exactly volunteered. And yeah, he's got some yellow, he's got some nice pieces, and yeah, just overall, these are really cool figs. Here's that look of the crane with a worker in it, an operator. Just took one of the worker minifigs I just showed. Yeah, just looks really nice. It definitely looks like you could be operating it. That small console, though, it's not that detailed. But yeah, just seeing the crane from some different angles. And it definitely works, even though he's not studded in. So yeah, that's that. Here's y'all's final look at this MOC. Really big, really cool. It was a lot of fun to build. took a while, and it's definitely going to take a while to take apart, but I hope you enjoyed this. I thought it was really fun. I really liked the mining guild idea from Star Wars Rebels. I just like Star Wars stuff like that, that's not the main. Anyway, if you want to see more mocks like this, super cool stuff, not only Star Wars, but different themes, there's definitely more on the way, so consider subscribing and liking.